There we go. All right, so out of the gate here, we have yet another S&P red open. 80% of the S&P right now is red. The only thing that's green are tech-related items. Once again, this is the same thing we've been seeing last week as well. The S&P is up 0.4, the NASDAQ is up 0.97, so once again, another discrepancy between the two. VIX is still holding and doing its thing. NASDAQ is still trudging higher here into 250 or so. $26,250. Rumor is we reopen after they get Mandami elected in New York. The Dems are trying. Oh, yeah. I've heard some stuff like that. I don't know. So on ES, we have 69.15, 68.90. On NASDAQ, we have up to 26.3 and down to 26.2 as the green still continues. We had a little bounce off 200 or so and just kind of inching our way up into 26.550. And we'll see what they want to do with this little move right here. What's up, YouTube? YouTube's acting a little slow for me today. What's up, Options New Dude? How you doing? So we have liquidity down to 200 or so. And NASDAQ is still chilling up here at 246, 250. I went to Dollywood Saturday, and the amount of people having to ride around the park on scooters is concerning. Yep, I'm always concerned when I go to that place and see what happened. I got to catch up on messages, Phil, but I'll catch up with you today, I promise. All right, 26,250 so far dojied out on the 1 minute. Still kind of creeping green here. Looking at ES, RTY is getting clobbered. Massive sell on the small caps once again. NASDAQ is blasting higher. ES is selling off. So the only thing, once again, that's green, of course, is NASDAQ. RTY is getting clobbered. Huge downtrend on RTY. Gold is getting clobbered. NASDAQ is up to 263 for a new high of the day so far and still rocket ships. We'll see what they could do with that. ES is selling off to 6,900 or so. We have a crap ton of calls selling out of the gate as expected. 200 million in calls sold, or 260 million in calls sold, 199 million in puts, and back and forth. But we do have a little bit of a discrepancy here between ES and NASDAQ. Everything is dropping except for NASDAQ. Although NASDAQ just top ticked, they're still just kind of holding their highs. So I'm just going to wait. 945 has been working pretty well for me, so that's where I'm going to wait. Another multiple top wick on NASDAQ. ES, NVIDIA is up another 3% and just freaking flying. NASDAQ is still holding 240, 250. Doing its thing. XLF, big red, yeah. NASDAQ rolling back over a touch. Beautiful stuff. See what they can do. All right, so nice little top tick there. Gold is bouncing. We have liquidity down at 26,200 if they were going to go for that. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see if we get a little rasky red follow through here. 26,225 or so, dropping back over. Itty bitty on down. Dropping. Just saw something from the New York Post that if he wins millions of New Yorkers, they plan on fleeing. I would. I'd run far away from that dumpster fire. What's up, Will? Maddie, how you doing? Good morning. Big red candles dropping over. 26,208, beautiful top wick on the ES on NASDAQ. Large, strong flow. So our indication there was the general market was selling. We had a very red S&P. We had a very red ES, very red everything. NASDAQ was holding up, and of course, beautiful little 60-point dump on NASDAQ. A little bit of a situational awareness on the markets there. What's up, Jonathan? Good morning. The little Raschke red so far is playing out perfectly. Beautiful, beautiful indicator to play the Raschke red, baby. Beautiful indicator to play the Raschke red. Follower on part 2. What happens if all the money flees New York? Yeah. I don't know. I think it needs to happen, though. I think he does need to get elected. 100%. I'm on board with it. I think he's the best candidate. It's kind of like, if you have a 3-year-old and he keeps on trying to touch the hot stove over and over and over again, eventually, all right, cool. Touch the hot stove, burn your hand, so you can finally see how dumb of an idea that is. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. 26,209 we have on NASDAQ. That's true, Hal. That is true. Man, YouTube is really slow today. Like, the interface is laggy as crap. All right, still coming off here. NASDAQ is drilling alongside the S&P. Massive move. Raschke red is playing out to a T. Beautiful stuff. What's up, Blainer? Good morning. Beautiful stuff. RTY is getting dumped. ES down 68.91. NASDAQ down to 193. Be aware of the dip buying. Yep. But 3 C's. Let the 3 C's guide your abilities. 79 million in calls sold. 133 million in puts. Right here. If you zoom out and look past affiliation, you see that Mandami types are very similar to the far rights in policy. I don't agree with that. Not from what I've heard his stances on. $26,182. Except it's like more a baby playing with matches. Yeah. All right, NASDAQ is still straight down. Beautiful stuff. No 3C high volume top wick yet, or a bottom wick. I'm sorry. Until I get the high volume bottom wick, I'm not going to look for that bounce yet. NASDAQ is still drilling, dumping down. Until we get the 3 C's. Where's the 1 minute? Still going 179. Looks like it wants 150. We'll see. NVIDIA's giving it back here too. VIX is climbing. Yeah, VIX is climbing. 1767. Dropping back over. 181. YouTube is fine. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just my interface, but it's no doing good. Not doing good. There we go. Another red shift down to 176. Looking like it wants 100. Still no 3 C's. Still no 3 C's. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. VIX is still climbing. They're shifting liquidity down to 100. There's strong call selling. Now Spot Gamma called this perfectly. They were looking for a strong call selling put buying event at the open. As market makers taking profit here at the open after, of course, the Raschke red on Friday going into this session. Thanks for posting out getting the TVC VIX. Oh, you're welcome, Proggy. You're welcome. NASDAQ still getting crushed. Anybody doing the Tradeify competition thingy someone posted about? I'm perfectly fine to buy the dip, but I have to wait for the 3Cs. Until then, it's short biased only. You have to be smart about this. VIX is rocketing still. ES is still drilling into the core of the earth. The S&P is 80% red. The only thing green right now is tech. Everything else is getting crushed. So internal should be a little weak right now. A little weak. I'm curious what the ticks say, Mojo, if you got them. NASDAQ just got clobbered again around 170, still falling. Still falling. Your top 15 on the leaderboard. Nice TA. Didn't it just start today, though? No, the bottom wick. $171. 3Cs to go long. 3Cs to go long. Right now, we don't have a lot of clear 3C indications. So, no long. Yet. See, look, there's another engulfing red on down, baby. Had a good run on gold. Nice. Looks like it wants 150 on NASDAQ. There we go. New low of the day for NASDAQ. Still drilling down. VIX is still going up. Still going up. We had a fantastic 3C long on Friday. Extraordinary. Walk through it like a champ. I'm going to try to do the same thing today, if we get it. Right now, things are very, very weak. No longing until you see the 3C bounce. Period. Trust the process, baby. ES is jumping off a cliff. No parachute. Gold's not moving at all. NASDAQ is drilling. I'm tracking the 1 minute for volume, the 5 minute for price confirmation. One guy already has 20K profit in the Tradeify challenge. What, he max position size? Garbage. Apple's the only big dog trending down. It's weird to see so much red. Yeah. But regardless, the market's going to do what it's going to do. Until I see a 3C long, no buy the dip. Don't go chasing waterfalls, homie. Stick to the positions that you're used to. Markets are very weak. I tried to fight the market like an absolute moron on Friday. I had to think about it all weekend. Hey, it happens. Just take notes. Make sure you're making the right decisions. Right now, this is straight down. I see no volume spikes. When you see no volume spikes, you cannot long a falling knife. You've got to wait for a volume spike to stop the trend. Otherwise, we're going to continue downward. Good stuff. ChatGPT will no longer provide health or legal advice. Uh-oh. You may be in trouble next time you go to the doctor. A little bit of green. Wasn't able to make it out to Dollywood this year, Magabagouli. We had a very busy fall. A lot of family events, a lot of parties and stuff, so we couldn't go out there, but I'm sad we missed it. All right, so what am I going to look for a possible bounce? With this style of price action, we had a green open, which lends its hand to sustained selling. If this was a huge dump right out of the gate, I'd be a little bit more skeptical of downside. But we had a nice little pop at the open, and then they dumped it. So if I want to see this thing bounce back up, I would like to see a quick liquidation red candle to the downside. It happens, boom. It's like a good 30, 40, maybe even a 50-point red candle to get everyone super bearish, and then volume comes in, they hammer the crap out of that candle. That's the candle you want along. Right now, this looks like absorption for a lower price. This looks like absorption for lower because we don't have volume. Could be a little iffy here. They keep on trying to extend higher, but they just look another candle. They just crash that candle. So it looks like absorption for a lower price here. They got to get something going here. Otherwise, down we go. See, they just crashed it. Wick followed by a wick, higher highs. Yep. It was my first time going in 5 years. I only live 35 minutes away, so it's too expensive now. We only went because we got free tickets from a family friend. Nice, yeah. A little bit of green. Volume's coming in on this candle. 10 a.m. pivot. You have to be out of all trades by 5 p.m. for the 50K challenge. Okay. Rashki red, baby. I love it. I love it. A little bit more red. Whew. 26,162. There we go. Smoke that candle like a turkey. By the way, I do smoke my turkeys for Thanksgiving. Can't wait. Everything else is inferior. Come at me. ES is 68.81 dropping. RTY. Don't give me that deep fried turkey crap either. That's it for me today. Good old RTY. Nice agnostic. Yeah, I knew you were catching that baby. They dumped. In the prop firm accounts, can we play spreads? Nope. It's only futures. No options. Only futures. NASDAQ is still chillaxing right here. Unable to really go anywhere. $26,140. 400 million in calls sold. 400 million in calls sold. So they're still selling straight calls here. NASDAQ is chilling at 175, 170, back and forth. They got to be able to close a higher high to get the market going. SPY got some green. Yeah. How else are people going to... Yeah, really. Did you see that Apex sale? Yeah, I'm not touching Apex ever again. I don't care if they do a 90. I was considering doing back again, but after seeing the disposition notes this weekend, yeah, I'll never touch Apex again. Gold's doing something? Yeah, gold's rocketing. Look at that. High volume 3C bounce reclaimed, and up we go. Why are they getting sued? Because the owner was not paying people out on purpose. And in the disposition, he had messages saying that he was doing everything in his power not to pay people. Like he said it verbatim. Like he picked through everyone's files to not try to pay people. Classy guy. Yep. Yeah, it is a class action. Yep. It is a class action. Prop firm being scammy. I mean, Apex is well known for being a scammer. Like, you sign up for Apex, I mean, you get what's coming to you. But there's plenty of quality prop firms out there that aren't screwing you over to play with. The rules might kind of suck, but they lay it all out there. NASDAQ wants 26,160 right here. Am I getting in on it? Nah. It's not worth my time. All right, there we go. 26,150 on NASDAQ, still going lower. No high volume 3C yet, so down we go. No longing. There we go. 146 and still dropping. They just filled that bottom liquidity right here. Boom, look at that. Look at that green candle. That's the type of candle we were talking about. If they're going to long it, this is how I expect them to do it right here. This is how I expect them to do it. Let's see what they do with this volume. One, three, three. Big red candle, 121. What is that? That is yesterday. That's the morning area from last week. Let's go look at ES. ES is 168.76. So far, they are bottom wicking it. And that's a tremendous amount of volume here. But that is exactly how I would look for them to cause a reversal with that style of price action. Right there. No volume yet? No, that's a tremendous amount of volume. That's the highest volume candle of the day. 138 right there. Boom. Look at that. Look at that. Amazing. 134. Still drilling down. Now, we need the 3 C's, so the higher high. We have volume. We have wick. Now we need a higher high to get us going. That'll get us in the direction if they get it. Right now, we only have 2 of the 3 C's. Can they do it? Can they do it? 136. I would love to get over 146, and then after that, we'll look for 160, and that'll get us in that direction. If anything, just be careful shorting the lows here with these type of indications. Can't get over that prior candle yet. They have liquidity at 150. Big liquidity at 150. There we go. 792 million calls sold. Right here. Extraordinary. Extraordinary. I didn't mean to delete that. So you have 50K. Yeah. Can't confirm anything at 150. I think TPT all around is you need to be out by 5. Yeah. Gold still rocket chips. Yeah, I wish I would have got in on some gold, of course, as I always do. But high volume 3C right there possible on 4036. That's yesterday's low right there. So the next target after clearing the 145 is going to be right here at 160. That's then the secondary target. All right. ISM manufacturing in 5 minutes. Top of the hour. Then we have a couple of FOMC speeches the remainder of the day. Right here. I'm surprised gold is so strong with the dollar. Would you mind? Oh yeah, my bad. I always forget about that. Change stream. Let's go here. Volume analysis. Right there. The dollar blast is fake. Nobody in the right mind thinks the value of the dollar is increasing. I don't know. Still rolling over here. Unable to reclaim 160. 128 and dropping. There we go, 124. Still dropping. Still dropping. Yeah. So, you know, everything obviously we already know that there's the market's so incredibly wonky, man. You know, I kind of read your message this weekend about, you know, you've never been so frustrated making money. I can't relate with that statement more. Is that it's just absurd. It's just absurd. where we are and what's happening right now. Big liquidity at 125. They filled the 150 and now they rolled to 125. VIX is still skyrocketing over 18. We have a billion in calls sold with 259 million of puts purchased. So it's a very negative delta market here. Or I guess I should say an unsupported market in terms of calls. Another top wick. Dollar being up is a sign of financial stress in the markets. Should be down, but it's not. Let's go take a look at bonds, by the way. Bonds are down to the 89 area, although they bottom wicked. They're still holding the same range now for a while. Yields are green. 3x TMF is red. Still playing the downside here as long as you don't have 3 Cs. Do you like the close over 155? No. Well, this is a very similar setup to Friday's action. You remember Friday we had a zone. Right now, this is the zone we need to see. Let's call it 160 for safety, whatever. But this is now the zone that the market is chopping in for this downside move. Until we reclaim out of this zone and catch the right side of the V, which is, the right side of the V, I want right here. Now, if we shift lower and do it again, we'll shift that target down. But if I'm going to look for any kind of long position here, I need to see the right side of the V. Otherwise, you're going to get rolled. No bueno. Same exact play as Friday. Exact same setup. We might not even get a bounce. I'm just saying if I'm going to play a bounce, that is when I'm going to want to see. Just be safe. Just be safe. Right out the pre-market high. There you go. I was doing some reading on the weekend. Fun fact, I was unaware that the U.S. government is spending 23% of U.S. GDP. I'm surprised it's not higher. $26,132. Liquidity down to 100, 115 still. Still shifting lower. R2Y bounced a little bit. ES is getting clobbered still. Gold is still rocket ships, although they put in a high volume 3C. There's volume. There's top wicks right here. And they're coming up on the third C now. What kind of craziness do you expect when a month of market data finally gets released? When the data starts coming in, I'd expect some good volatility because all of the unknowns are going to start to hit, which usually induces volatility and positioning. Definitely. So that's why when we start to see the government come back online, I think we'll have an initial green reaction and then the volatility will hit because you have to account for that exact thing. We have months and months of non-farm payroll and CPI and all this other nonsense. Not to mention, we know that the CPI number that was posted was complete nonsense because they even said it as such in the data. They said they had to take liberties with some of the data because they just didn't have the data. Why do you think Trump wanted the data to be released? There's 10 o'clock move right there. Yeah, potential 3C on gold, definitely. Another big red candle on ES and NASDAQ. As long as you don't have the third C, you don't long. This is a very strong downtrend. Now, what's the difference between today and Friday? Friday started with a dump right out of the gate. Huge dump right out of the gate. This one started out with a big green pop out of the gate and then a dump. So now there's more fuel for the downside. 26,115. 1.2 billion in calls sold. Heavy call selling here. Straight down. Straight down. Spicy price action on gold. Yeah. Big spicy price action on gold. Rasky never fails us, baby. Love it. I love it. 26,107. Still going down into 100. Another couple of bottom wicks. Straight down. High volume coming in. Do we get the bottom wick with a higher close? Move my stops to profit for now. Still looking for 160 to long. Yeah, that would be a good place. Yeah. If I'm looking for the right side of the V, yeah, that's was what I'd look for, yeah. Right now, it's still short biased. I'm not going to sit here and look for a long. I'm just saying if the long happens, that's what I'm going to look for. Until that happens. I'm pumped, man. All my ammunition gets delivered tomorrow. Can't wait. 26,200 becomes stronger. 26,200 is way up there. That's about the 50% mark, roughly. 184 is 50%. I bought 5,200 rounds of 22 match grade ammunition. I bought about 500 rounds of 223, and I bought 200 rounds of 22 mag. Bulk buy. Did it come with the Kermit? Christmas coming early, yeah. How much total in dollars or in ammunition? Dollars. I paid, let's see, I'll get the exact amount. I paid $410 for the 22 alone. The mag and ammunition was right under $100, and the 223 was like $420 or so. So it's right. It was just under $1,000 for it all. What's the use case for 22 mag? I feel like it's almost expensive. I am looking to get a sidearm for my daughter to start learning how to shoot pistols, because I was a competitive shooter for a long time with the military, and I wanted to get her to learn how to shoot, and she's still kind of jittery with the kick of like a 9mm or a 45, so 22 mag is the best bet. 22, they do make 22 pistols, but they're kind of unreliable. They don't cycle that well. 22 mag will give you a little more oomph. And I know Kel-Tec makes a great 22 mag sidearm. That's pretty great, and it's reliable, and it holds like 31 rounds. So, and that's going to teach her how to shoot. My neighbor's daughter got her eye scope. Yeah, it's no bueno, man. That's no bueno. I love my 223. I do too. Yeah. She could shoot the AR, no problem, but with pistol shooting, I want to make her sure she's comfortable. Let's see. 087 on the downside. Still filing everything. Obviously, there's a little trend line down here. We can't get a 3C to save your life, so of course, you remain short buys. Do not jump the gun and long this market. Do not do it. I'm warning y'all. Not yet. Watch. In about 10 seconds, we're going to have a big green candle, and everyone on Twitter is going to be like, oh, you told us not to long. You idiot. No, I'm just saying wait for the 3C, baby. Wait for the 3C. Thermals are... How is a thermal scope prohibited in Canada? Like, really? They don't let you have any fun. 26,100, still selling, 087. path for economy is still possible. Subsonic 22 is still the most fun. I agree, yeah, it is very fun. Still downtrending here, no longing until you see the 3 Cs. Gold is still developing a possible third C short. Possible. In my opinion, I would look for at least 40.35, if not 34.1. NASDAQ and the ES are still both strong downtrends. You can only buy really crappy ones for $1,500. Wow. I saw a $12,000 thermal scope on Palmetto State on sale for $3, and I almost bought it, but it was out of stock when I went to go get it. I wanted it. NASDAQ is 26.08 and dropping beautifully, beautifully to the downside. Straight down, baby. Straight down. VIX is 1831, almost 19. Peacocks are like mini T-Rexes. They walk like a T-Rex. They lumber about like a T-Rex. Kind of like a 6-foot turkey. Fed Goolsby says, I'm uneasy with the front-loading rate cuts. Interesting. The premise is discharge of firearms is prohibited after sunset. That's unreal, man. It blows my mind. $26,093. $1.5 billion in calls sold. $344 million in puts purchased. So in my opinion, the only thing that's really keeping this thing from being a 4% negative day is the fact that they're not really buying puts here. All they're doing is selling a crap ton of calls. I know people don't love digital, but the thermal and night vision DNT optics is very good. Yeah. I told my fiance about her peacock, about my peacock problem. She's jealous. Yeah. As long as they don't go rogue on me like that other one did, I don't really mind them. It's just I put out some rye seed for the wintertime, and they're eating my seed. Although now it's taken, and, you know, most of it's taken, so I don't mind it now. But man, they're giant, and their poop is giant too. Why are we always yelling at us? You know. 26,104. 3C bounce coming? I don't know. We need to see a higher high. Hey, there's a big green candle. Where'd that come from? A big red on the VIX. That's the biggest green candle of the day so far with volume. So can we get over the prior higher high? If you're making any profit with prop firms, you're probably in the top 1% of traders. I find that hard to believe, man. I know a lot of people that are profitable with prop firms. Reddit post incoming. Yeah. All right, 26,130 coming up. That's a nice big old bottom wick right there. Do we have a change in character is the question. Do we have a change in character? $26. I think you're on a different contract, MN. Yeah, 26,180 is way higher. Or you're on delayed data. What's the target here? 145 or close. I'd like to see at least 160. 160. I might be able to try to get in earlier, but that higher high, man, because if they tank this thing from here, you're going to get clobbered. Now, yes, 130 here will start to get you a technical 3C. It'll start to get you a true higher high. But the whole range here, man, that 160 will lead you to 260. So it'll give you 100 points. But it's really dealer's choice here. I could see an argument for 130, 14. The whole concept here is I just want the right side of the V. They're buying back some calls here. They're selling off some puts. So this could be a bounce. This could be a bounce. Crypto dumped overnight. The Ruger SR22 is a great pistol for kids. Interesting. I'll take a look. We're gonna do a $50,000 account on TPT giveaway today to start the month out. We'll do one this afternoon. I'll do one on Twitter today too. So we'll do 2 giveaways. Reddit post deleted. What Reddit post? $26,132 still going. Q's filled to fill the overnight gap. So far, we're in the 2nd longest government shutdown in history. Yeah. There you go. Green's coming along here. Just joking because of the giveaway. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah, I see what you're saying. All right. Nice little green move coming up here. Can we get the 3 C's? Coming along. Gold is still chilling. NASDAQ is coming along nicely into the 160. What needs to be done? I'll put it in the 50K account. I haven't set it up yet, but I'll do it. It'll be in this channel. All right, 160 is our target. They just rejected right off of it. VIX is 18, baby. $147. Can't claim higher highs yet. Well, depends. Scalping, yes, we already talked about that. But 160 is my reversal target. 160 will be the reversal to come back up. Other than that, just play the higher highs as you see fit here. A Mexican mayor was assassinated. One of the rivals of the president of Mexico was killed by the cartel. Interesting. Rejected right off of our target of 160. Whatever this is. What is that? 157? 157? Beautiful stuff. Not chasing any long positions till I get my target. Selling everything. VIX is still going up, 1827 and climbing. Still going. Back to 1.5 billion calls sold. They're selling everything. Fed Goolsby said the economy's been pretty strong with weakness in specific sectors. Yeah, I wonder what he's looking at. An entry there would have had you smoked. Yep, that's why you need a close above it. That's why you need a close above it. You got to clear it. Higher highs. 26,107 down to 26,087 is the liquidity. The market is heavily red. XLC is 1.2 negative. XLF is getting wrecked right here. All the way down. If they take this out, man, it's going to go. It's going to go. Let's go zoom out a little bit and see where we would head if this were to give out. If this were to give out, we'll target 26,020. That'll be the overnight pivot from here. But this thing is drilling. VIX is still going. They're clobbering this thing, dude. Look at the options data. That is nutty. 1.7 billion in calls sold in drilling. Wow. This will be an interesting target right here. They just put on liquidity down to 0.12. And then 26,000. Right there. $26,100. Nice little bounce. Defending. 1.6 billion calls sold. 400 million in puts purchased. VIX is 1840. Interesting. 0.95. Let's go take a look at ES. 108 going to 110. Climbing back up. Ooh, they just smashed that candle. What are they going to do here? What are they going to do here? What are they going to do? We have liquidity down to 7.5. Oh, man. What time is it? It is 9:18. How'd y'all like the time change so far? Y'all like going to bed at 6 o'clock? It's good stuff. 26,103. Another bounce. VIX is rocketing again. 1840 still going. They're buying back into puts here. Let's see. ES is 68.68. NASDAQ is chilling down here at 100. RTY is still downtrending, getting clobbered. Gold is still chilling, not moving at all. NASDAQ just got clobbered, but is buying it back up. Big old bottom wick on NASDAQ on the 5-minute. $105. Now they're clobbering this candle. If they give this out, I would expect a 26,000 touch. This is a pretty aggressive area, pretty important area for NASDAQ that they can't really hold. They're doing a lot of absorption here. And they're still pressing lower. A lot of red pressure. We'll see what they could do here. Boring stuff. I absolutely hate it being dark so early. Yeah, it's awful, man. It's awful. More liquidity, 26012. Dark when I leave for work, dark when I get home. Yeah. More liquidity, baby. Gold's not moving at all. Multiple high volume spikes here on gold. NASDAQ is still chilling down here at 100. $26,112. VIX is still climbing hard, 1837. $0.75 liquidity. VIX is going 1836. We're just chilling. RTY is getting killed, dude. Small caps are taking a beating. Taking a beating. Wow. No bueno, man. No bueno. What's NVIDIA doing? NVIDIA's still kind of chilling, 208 or so. Microsoft doing its thing. Apple still chilling. Amazon is chilling in the middle. Got some bottom wicks coming in across the tech market. NASDAQ is kind of down here to 109 and chilling. Back and forth. I don't like this back and forth crap, though. I do not like the back and forth crap. Another red plow on NASDAQ here, as we're just kind of chopping. Like tennis, yeah. How do I overcome my bias to try and see 3Cs when there's maybe R and a poor quality ones? I would talk myself into thinking that there's anomalous volume somewhere when there isn't. Testing, going back and looking at the chart, spending some time looking at, go look and track reversals. If you like playing reversals, then go back and look on multiple time frames, day after day after day, and look what happens at reversals. High volume inflow, volume, and then wherever the higher high comes in, is there a double bounce, that kind of thing. And look through, because right now we don't have higher volume. Everything is just kind of mundane, the same old crap here. We had a high volume spike that occurred right here at 1016, and then it went flat. It noted the bottom here and went flat, but we can't get that higher high stuff. So know when conditions to play and when not to play. Require 2x average volume. That's something you could do. Yeah, I don't do that, but you could. That's something you could put in. That's not a bad idea. Still dropping, 1077. What is considered sold and bought? Some has to be a buyer. I'm looking at the markets from an institutional perspective. They're buying, them selling, and you could speculate on who's the buyer and who's the seller of the options from their perspective. But yeah, gold following through with a 3C, beautiful. NASDAQ is downshifting into 26,000 after taking out these lows. We couldn't put in a higher high, so they downshift. So they downshift. Gold's fantastic. Still dropping, 26,058 and falling. Extraordinary. Big red candles coming down to 26,000, baby. No longing. No longing. No longing. Not until you get the third C. As a new viewer of the channel, what's up, James? What is the 3 C's? The 3 C's are the mechanism I use to trade called the 3 criteria. Volume, first C. The second criteria is wick. The third criteria is price action or follow through. In this case, if you are looking for a long opportunity, you need volume, you need a strong buyer's wick, and you need a higher high, of which we do not have. So down we go. Looks like we want to downshift into 26,000. All the way down, baby. All the way down. I do have a video on my channel if you want to take a look at it. I'd encourage you to go watch it and let me know what you think. VIX is still climbing, top wick. On down on NASDAQ. Still shifting into the lower pits of the stomach of the market. All the way down. Engulfing red after engulfing red. Looking for 26,000. After this, it'll be 26,000. Gold just jumped off a cliff, no parachute. That's a beautiful 3 C's, man. Look at that. Extraordinary move on gold, highlighted by volume. Volume, top wick, top wick, top wick, top wick, multiple instances of volume, and then we clear the lower low right here at 0.369. Down we go. Over and over again, baby. It's all a game of patience. Patience. I bet you if you go back and look in Latin or whatever the crap the word patience comes from, I bet you there's a reason why the first 3 letters is pay, P-A-Y. P-A-Y, baby. 6 billion in dark pool, nice. 2 billion in calls sold, 550 million in puts purchased. So they are selling 2 billion of calls sold. This guy's name was Peyton, that's right. Another top wing. The term patience originates from the Latin word patientia, meaning suffering or endurance. I like it. I like it. Hallelujah. Looking for 26,000, baby. Coming on down. Coming on down. I hear that train a-comin', rolling round the bend. I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when. Right here, 26,000. Looking for it. Still rolling over. No higher high, no volume, no bottom wick. Down we go. They are smoking this baby. They are smoking it. Linda Raschke, baby. Go find her on Twitter. Say thank you. Say thank you. She's the best. So far, we are down 239 points on NASDAQ-ish, and we're falling. And we'd be falling. Ooh, withdrawal day. I like it. Still going. Here comes 26,000, baby. Here it comes, 26,000. $26,000. Eat it. Eat it. If you want to play long on gold, you should wait for volume on a larger time frame as well as a lofty close of a prior high. We in fall off mode. Yeah, gold's amazing, dude. Right now, I mean, 100% you got to wait for the third C on gold. Worked out really well, especially if you're going to look to long after that kind of move. NASDAQ's still selling off here, looking for 26,000. Do not long unless you see a third C, baby. In my opinion, right now, I would need at least 26,054 to long. The right side of the V, otherwise you have to remain short bias. I love the 3 C's. Not only does it make you money, but also stops you from losing money. That's right, June. That's 100% right. I love it. 2603, we're about to roll over and hit 26,000. There's still no volume spikes. Now, what are you going to look for a volume spike here? We have a very nominal style of volume here. I don't even know if that's the right word. Very average amount of volume here throughout the entire session. Every volume spike is exactly the same as the prior. If I want to see a freight train stop this baby, I need to see a significant volume spike that's at least close to the opening candle with this style of volume. So I'm going to demand a higher quality of volume to get me to go long here. Otherwise, it's short bias into 26,000. Nice spelunking. Nice spelunking. Hit my GOA, locking out my prop accounts. Love it. Nice options, noob. Lock it up, buddy. Lock it up. Hit the goal, lock it in. 26037. Still falling. Still falling. Good stuff, baby. Daily Gold Met all locked up. Hey, how'd the doctor's appointment go, Damien? $26.25, about to hit 26. ES is falling over hard. We have 1.8 billion in calls sold. I find it very hard for my winners to run. I take small profit and I get out. I will take $2 to $3 profit and get out. A few minutes later, it will triple. All right, well, first thing you need to do is size down. There's too much emotion and fear in the trades, so size down. Number two, you have to have a systematic approach to your stops or trailing stops or whatever it is you use to take profit or lock in profit. So the close, you need to be able to turn. What would a robot do trading in your situation if he put on a solid entry? Would the robot get scared? No. It would execute by a standard set of rules, and put on trailing stops or whatever. That's what you need to think. I use trailing stops based on liquidity shifts, based on market structure. When I put on a trade, I trust the 3 C's. If it breaks down, so be it. If it goes into profit, then I'll scale up my trailing stops or down my trailing stops based on structure. So that's the thing you need to do, is take out feels. So I'm scared. I don't want to give back profit. I'm fearful. I don't want us to fall. All that crap, that's human thinking. So have a set of rules and put on the trade. You'll have a good day. Be disciplined. Start off November strong and stick to your rules and risk management. Nice quackazoid. Nice quacktastic. All good news for the wife. No blockage of the arteries. Heart of a 30-year-old. Awesome, Damien. I'm proud to hear it, baby. Praise God. Love it. 26022 falling over. And even then, Swatchy, you're still going to get out too soon when you follow all of your rules sometimes. And that's okay. That's part of trading. You just have to accept it. I keep taking those small profits till it feels comfortable, then I scale up. You will not capture all the move all the time. Just tell yourself all it needs is a part of the move. You need a high quality entry. That's it. Just put on a high quality entry and put it on there. Now, think about this move right here. I do not want to take erroneous long positions. I want to remain short bias, take short positions, because if and when they do decide to bounce this, it's going to be a glorious risk reward. But if you blow your account trying to long this crap too soon, you're going to get wrecked. So wait for a high volume 3C, remain short bias until you see it. Maybe this afternoon or even now, whenever they give us a long, and that opportunity will come. So just be patient and wait for the strong setups given your system. When you do finally take a setup, identify your tolerance for risk to get out at, and your way to you're not going to touch your profit until you finally see a structure break, and then you roll up your stops. I'm happy to say I just received my first payout deposit into the bank. Nice, member. Well done, buddy. Congratulations. Congratulations. What do you now for thinking of a close over? Well, let's take a look. The technical 3C would be already at 0.45 if you want to take that. I would probably, I don't know, man. I definitely wouldn't wait for 160. That's 110 points up. So 0.80 would be great to reclaim the high of this prior candle. But, you know, that's going to be dealer's choice here. Escaped 12 years ago. Nice. They couldn't fill that 26,000 yet. Solera fell off 20%. Where's Twizzy Mike? He's usually on top of that stuff. Nice green. Look at that. Big move now. What do you got there? Celebrating with Samsung Hyundai's leaders. Interesting. Traders see a 44% chance of NVIDIA reaching 224. Wow. There's a beautiful bounce right there. I didn't long this one. NVIDIA back to 500, NF26. That's crazy, man. I've stopped calling people crazy for predictions because who knows? It's all crazy, man. Who knows what's going to happen? I could see it. I could see it. It's crazy. Beautiful bounce on NASDAQ. 80 points. Gamma Zero is at 68.60 for SPX today. Price may be headed there. I don't follow gamma strikes anymore like that. They're hit or miss. They didn't give me an edge, so I don't strike them. I will say, if you're looking at the trace though, we can take a look at the exposure. 0DT exposure right now, for the most part, is setting down to 6,800. We have some scattered about at 6,830 or so, but most of everything is 6,800, which is 40 points below where we are now. Oh, man. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. They bought back $1 billion worth of calls, so we went from 2.2 billion of calls sold to 1.2, and they're in the process of trickling off some of the puts. They're retesting the SR flip right there, give or take. Call it here. Nice little red top wick off the SR flip touch. If I passed an eval profit-wise, but I'm only in day 4, can I just do small? Yes. So if you're on TPT tomorrow, if you've already hit the profit goal and assuming all the parameters are met, you're not over the 50% consistency, then tomorrow just go to one micro contract, open it, close it, you're done. Don't touch it, close it out. The amount of scams out there is insane. What do you, what way? Remember to build your army. Build your prop firm army. Build up a funded account, take some payouts, use some of those payouts to sign up for more evals, build those back up, so on and so forth. Where you always have past fundeds waiting in the ranks. I'm seeing a bunch of accounts on X all of a sudden start posting NFTs. Those are still a thing? I thought those weren't a thing anymore. Weren't they the pictures, like the pictures of monkeys and like eggplants and stuff that were worth millions? Can a funded account help teach discipline? Well, I mean, I guess so. So the only thing that can teach discipline is experience. My concern with prop firms and from that perspective is that you're not truly feeling the pain of losing money when you sign up for a prop. Yeah, you're losing the cost of your entry fee if you lose, but that big financial hit, the pain of losing 98% of your money in 48 hours, $58,000 is not fun. And you don't feel that with prop firms. So you may be inclined to kind of stay in a perpetual loop of getting blasted in the face with prop firms that I would be very cautious with. It kind of turns you into a degenerate gambler, unfortunately. Big, beautiful top wick on NASDAQ with volume. Seen some people posting QR codes, but still opens your wallet and empties it. Yeah, don't do that. Yeah, never. Look at that beautiful, high volume spike top wick NASDAQ roll. I have to mute. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I can always pass the evaluation, but it seems I always seem to get into an over-leveraged position that destroys the account, rinse and repeat. Okay, well you just answered your own question right there. What was the metric I posted this morning about Top Step? Out of 100,000 traders, 96 of them actually make it to a live account. And I think only 3% of people that actually make it to funded account actually take a payout. What does that tell you? Is that everybody is over leveraging. And I'm telling you right now, as someone who's been funded and live with 2 different companies, who has taken a pretty decent amount of success and failures for that matter with prop firms, I can tell you right now that if you're going to over leverage, you absolutely, without a doubt, 100% are going to fail in perpetuity. In perpetuity, you're going to fail. You might catch a couple of great days and take good payouts, but you're going to end up back in the same hole, and you're going to spend every single dime of the money you took for payouts on resetting, instead of just going down to a couple of contracts, building a buffer, and then getting to an account where you've got a buffer to play with, and then you could start taking nice, small, consistent payouts. Every single person approaches prop firms like a gambling casino, which I did myself. Everyone does it because you don't have skin in the game. Your lizard human degenerate brain says, hey, I've only paid like $40 for this account. I'm just going to see what I can do. Maybe I can get $10,000 out of it. Instead of thinking, I spent my entire life grinding for this money I just deposited. I need to be very careful with it, like you do with normal brokerage accounts. You just piss it all away and just reset until you finally take a payout. So prop firms can be the best tool you've ever experienced. It could be a life-changing devastation that'll wreak havoc on you mentally, emotionally, financially, physically, spiritually, etc. So you choose what you want to do. You can continue to be a jabroni, or you could finally do it. At some point, you just got to stop being an idiot. At some point, you just got to cut the crap and just do what you got to do. And that goes for personal accounts too, not just props. At some point, stop being an idiot. There's only so much motivation and YouTube videos and streams you can listen to before you can finally just, you know what, maybe if I'm trying to lose 100 pounds, maybe I should stop shoving Twinkies down my pie hole at 2 in the morning. Maybe, just maybe. And you can lose weight, you know? I took another step forward. I brought a journal. It's beautiful. I love it. It's a fantastic step to get better. I find your prior week macro levels to be just as accurate, if not more, the first few days of the next week. I love it. Well, keep them on. It's beautiful. Especially when we're in this back and forth area. They pretty much stay the same, plus or minus. Why a horrific visual. Yeah. I'm one of those degenerate prop firm gamblers. I used to be. I could pass the eval, but they always seem to get into a... Alright, I can only touch micros in my fear. I can't do it with minis, only 2K buffer. It's impossible to scalp. Sure, I can win 80%, but that's 50. Yeah, I mean, that's the difficulty of short-term trading, is that you can have an 85% win rate and still get destroyed by that 15%. It's because you let that 15% eat up all of your profits accumulated on the 85%. And then if you throw in over leveraging, I mean, you can easily do it. You can easily eat up 85% of profit. You hate Twinkies? I used to love Twinkies back in the 90s and 80s, but now they're terrible chemical-filled goo. I combine with VP and HVA and I'm wrecking TPT. They're going to be paying for a 2-week vacation. I love it, Benny Shee. It's amazing. Keep it up, buddy. Keep it up. Another double tap of the prior high, the SR flip of 26085. I used to love the Hostess chocolate cupcakes with the squiggly icing. Oh, yeah. All that crap is just complete chemical filled, man. It's just dust. It's disgusting. That 25% of losses comes from mini contracts for me. It happens. Are they going to grind us back up all afternoon? I don't know. The VIX is still hanging out at 1827, so my first indication that they're going to recover this is you start liquidating the VIX. If they completely deflate back down to, 17, then yeah, they might recover us. Gold's rolling back over. God only knows what they about you. Oh man. 1 billion in calls sold. They're decreasing from 2.2 billion and they're selling off puts. So the option chain is trending back towards bullish here. Trending back towards bullish. I'm late, just got here. Did y'all long that 3C bounce 20 minutes ago? I didn't take the long, no. Imagine a Twinkie, but Nutella. Oh, man, don't get me started on Nutella. Don't get me started on Nutella. That is some delicious stuff. I could bathe in Nutella. I have a kilogram jug, don't you, in that pantry? No, unfortunately not, because that stuff is like 90% sugar and oil, so it's incredibly bad for you, but it's so good, and I can't control myself around it. Am I making fresh mozzarella out here? Not yet. Not yet. I need to. I read somewhere yesterday that saying supposedly Nutella put bags in their stuff. Bugs in their stuff? I'm sure it is, yeah. I mean, if you look at the breakdown, like someone a long time ago posted a graphic of the individual ingredients of Nutella, and it's literally like 80% sugar, and then the rest of it's oil, and then the rest of it, there's only like 1% of actual like hazelnuts. But it's still so good. We order organic Nutella. They make it with avocado oil. It's really good. Every now and then. All right, 26,085. They are still top wicking this. They cannot break through the SR flip. So this right here is a textbook support resistance test. If you're looking on the charts here. Right there. Prior supports, new resistance. Right here. Even here, they're different than that. Yes, yeah. You know the story of how Nutella got started way back in World War II? Do I still look at the 9:30 to 10:30 range? Yes, I do. Yeah, the first hour range is an everyday thing for me. Every day. Which is right here. If it takes out this range, I would expect a test of 26,160. If they can close that range. Oh, man. Why didn't you take the long and see the 3C confirmation? Because I didn't see volume that give me a confident enough to take it. I didn't see a strong 3C indication for this long. You can make homemade chocolate with coconut oil, cacao powder, and either honey or remilk. Oh, yeah, that sounds delicious. Yeah. Never tried that. About to take this out. About to take this out. Looking a little bullish. Looking a little bullish. There you go. Next spring, we're going to try to make our own maple syrup. We have a bunch of maple trees, sugar maples. We're going to try to do it Canadian style. Warren Buffett is now sitting on $381 billion in cash. He's been 12 straight quarters of selling. He's hoarding cash. Interesting. Interesting. Regional banking crisis. What are the regional banks doing here? Where'd my KRE go? There it is. They got crushed this morning. What's the daily chart look like? They're still getting wrecked. They've been getting wrecked now since September. The bulls better get something going today because that daily chart is looking a little sketch. At this rate, he'll die on it, yeah. Do you want me to send you some maple syrup? Dude, I will take as much maple syrup as you want to send me. My sister makes syrup from black walnut trees. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we have a crap ton of black walnuts. That's pretty cool. Got to bring some for the entire class, yeah. Black walnut around here, they'll do it kind of smoky. Yeah. That sounds delicious. I'd like to try that. All right. We can't extend beyond this SR flip. Let me show you the hero here. So we had 2.2 billion in calls sold. The calls are the green line. And you see that call line trending upwards. They're buying back some of these 0DT calls. Puts have been steadily trickling off since about 10:30. The market got Burry out of his cave preaching another bubble. Yeah. Order Neo. Transform your home. Neo takes care of the task around the house so you can focus on whatever matters to you. VIX came off a bit, yeah. The real stuff is usually the glass bottle has wood ingredient maple syrup. Yeah. What's that movie with Megan Fox when she was like a at-home robot? That's what I have in mind if I'm looking for an at-home robot. Not some faceless droid. 26081. Another top wick. VIX is rolling over 18. I hit my profit target limit for the day. I've been doing much better at trading 1 to 2 micros. Beautiful. Setting a hard profit limit. Setting on accounts has helped me from greeding for more. Yeah, I love it. I love it. I feel bad whatever robot gets tan. Yeah, really. We're probably going to 940 today. You talking about 25 940? I love it. I love it. $26,065. You know what it feels like every time they buy it, it shoots down? What do you mean? You talking about they roll the price action on these buy ups? I have a gambler mindset. No matter what I do, they always tend to take a position based on a gut feeling. What can I do? You need to have a system. So my personal system is the 3 C's based on volume price analysis. So I have metrics and datas that I take into account when I take a trade. Volume is the first one, wicks are the second one, and then price action is the third one. So it's going to help me decide, hey, when do I need to trade? When do I not need to trade? And in my opinion, having a system that tells you when not to trade is more important than tell you when to trade. If you're trading based on, oh, well, this looks bullish, let me take an entry, then you're going to get destroyed. The market is very good at making you think one thing and doing another. All right. Roblox. So they're still chilling under the SR flip here. Every time they try to make a move above this, they just roll it back over. Can't hold above it yet. Every time I look at the chart, whether I'm trading or studying, I'm always looking for the 3 C's. Yeah, that's exactly what you need to do. It's beautiful. Very welcome, Star Wars. How about we go ahead and set up a 50K account giveaway? How about that? Let's do the drawing at, how about, yeah, let's do it then. I like it. Beautiful. Responding to the early entry question, sorry for the long write-up. Amount of times I take a trade early and hold on to the 3C's biggest hurdle. Let's cut the losses. So I'm taking that. I like it. Nice, Kyle. I'm studying SPY charts here and looking like a nice price unit volume. Do you see us flipping through this resistance back to high of day? Well, I could definitely see it because the option chain is starting to trickle back towards bullish. They won't get away from the SR flip, and so it does appear to be some sort of absorption. Granted, I don't have a magic 8 ball or a time machine, but as long as they stay out right here in this area without kind of a big sweep, then yeah, they'll probably look for some sort of absorption. But again, I want to see a closure of that to get me into the possibility of a long position. Until then, everything's still a short position until they can claim a higher high, because I don't have a magic 8 ball. What's your $25 going for then? Dad jokes. Dad jokes. The best dad jokes on the market. Is that for YouTube as well? Negative. Although I'll do one today as well for the general public. I'll do it on X. I'll do it on X. Kermit GIFs. Yeah, buddy. Came here for the price action, stayed for the dad jokes. Love it. Gold is rolling over again. Is there a reason why you're looking for a move on NASDAQ today unless SPY or gold? Well, I typically have been looking for NASDAQ more and more. I still trade ES as well, though. And then, gold, we watched the 3C short today on gold as well this morning. Oh, man. London close. Hey, we're back on the London close time frame, aren't we? Since the time switched, aren't we matched back up again? Someone over across the pond can confirm. I made some buffalo chicken dip over the weekend with some homemade ranch for the first time, and it was way better. Oh, man. Unbelievable. Anyone here have a Traeger? I have a Traeger. I love it. The convenience is extraordinary. You could smoke at the last second. So if you decide to smoke something last minute, all you gotta do is turn it on. There is no prepping. There is no warming up. It's just boom. Turn it on. You're good to go. As the volume stays on the 1 minute and even the 5 minute, but is trending higher or up against the resistance, with a proper way to interpret it be, since there's no stopping volume, it's a good direction. Yes. So if there's no stopping volume, then you can expect continuation. Buffalo chicken and sides, a loaded potato sounds terrible. No, it does not sound terrible at all. It sounds incredible. It sounds incredible. Here you go, YouTube people. If you want to get involved in a account giveaway. There you go. I can't get a good smoke with the out-of-the-box Traeger. Yeah, I mean, you're not going to beat the smoke of a ceramic, like a Primo or a Green Egg, but you're going to get a lot of convenience. It's hard to go long today. In order for me to go long, it's going to have to be an A+ setup. 100%, I agree with you. No long until we get a higher high here, which we can't do. I still haven't taken a long position today. Dang, I don't have social media. Well, then you're not 6'7". Oh my gosh. It's brain rot. I know it's cringe. I'll just use the exhaust off my diesel. There you go. I like your patience and discipline, not taking long to avoid FOMO. Looks bearish. Well, I'm in no hurry. Y'all know me. I like not trading. I like being uninvested. It gives me freedom to do the stuff that needs to be done when it's time to do it. So it was definitely short biased all morning long. We never captured a higher high. And here we are chilling at the SR flip. So if you know VPA, if you know me, SR flips are key indications of liquidity. We can't capture the SR flip, so you can't go long because you're longing into a brick wall. Imagine trying to start a sprint right up against the brick wall. You can't do it. You can't get any momentum. So you have to take 30 steps back, aka go down for more liquidity, and then get a running start and smash through the brick wall. Right now, we're just kind of absorbing. Are you down with OPP? You know me. Right to jail. Right away. I like and reposted so fast I hurt my trading finger. You're on injured reserve for 6 weeks? I like it. Very cool. Oh man, speaking of Chris, where you? What's your strikes today? What are you doing? Still, they're taking off a lot of exposure here. No positions for you? I'm actually contemplating making a YouTube channel for my reselling business, basically thrifting vlogs, thrift haul videos, maybe some education stuff. Do it. I'm telling you, man. Online social presence. Think about what people actually want to see and make a YouTube channel about it. It's super easy. It's super easy. We're in the process of building a homesteading YouTube channel. It's good stuff, man. What's your short-term outlook? Short-term, I have no idea. Long-term, green, baby. Big green. Yeah, exactly. It's the way I look at social media like that. It's like free money. You just keep on posting YouTube videos until one of them catches fire. As long as you're doing good production quality, good sound quality, and you're doing content that's not redundant, you'll be fine. I paused the ICs until further notice. It's been bad lately. Interesting. Well, it's good. Good on you for noticing and pausing. That's good stuff. Good on you. Another bottom wick on NASDAQ. 26081. Bottom wicks galore, man. There we go. Trying to clear. They're trying to clear. Does YouTube actually pay good money? Not at all. I've got 60,000 followers, and I make, I think last I checked, in fact, I'll go and check now. It's been a while. I don't even pay attention to it anymore because it pays so little. There we go. 096 going over 100. We're finally going to take out that SR flip. It's going, baby. It's going. I made $194 last month. That's the check they wrote me. And 30% of that goes to Google, so I get 30% of $194. So that might buy two ribeye steaks. That's with 60,000 followers. However, in my opinion, where the money comes in at, talking to other YouTubers, if you're into that kind of thing, I don't really care that focus that much on growing my YouTube channel. Is sponsorship. So, like if you're a gun YouTuber, get gun companies to sponsor you, give you money or give you products, stuff like that. But you don't really start making money unless you've got like 1 million followers or so. Mr. Beast over here. 26094. We're still holding right here at this SR flip. Can't get over it. Cannot get over it. There we go. 100. Look at that 15-minute chart. Finally starting to claim higher. Is it a good day to sell a put spread? It's possibly. I can't believe there is enough money in advertising that anybody can be a YouTuber. As long as you have a decent enough following, it can be, yeah. Do I use Spot Gamma Trace? I do. It's amazing. So all it does is it's plot, like this is Trace right here. This plots the exposure on the 0DT options chain. Today it's not all that clear. Most of the exposure is 6,800, but it's not clear in terms of an outlier move, which is not Trace, that's the market itself. Is this a 3C short? Let's see. We can't claim with the SR flip here, so still no long positions. They can't claim it. They had a small uptick in volume at 10.18 there, or 11.18, but they can't hold it. So, I mean, I guess maybe, but it's not a big level of volume. So you play at your own risk when you deal with wider volume. I think I'll only trust a long day today if we break the morning high. I just got a bad vibe. I know you shouldn't trade on vibes. Well, I would change that. You shouldn't trade on vibes alone. Vibes is another word for gut feelings. Gut feeling is a part of trading because a gut feeling is just experience built in. So you should have some degree of confidence in your gut feelings if you're an experienced trader. But yeah, you shouldn't trade on those alone. Man, YouTube is super laggy today. Super laggy. Oh, this is garbage. I'm seeing some calls being bought. I am as well. So they've gone from 2.2 billion negative delta up to 694 or still negative. So they've bought back about 1.6 billion. They're still not in positive gamma territory, but they're heading that way. I mean, they're still buying a bunch more right now. 454. And they're trying their best to get over this little pivot. Here, I'll show you a visual with the hero. The green line is calls. It's gone from 2.2 negative to now 454 negative, so they're buying some back. Seems they're trying hard to cross that resistance and pivot, but it keeps getting knocked down. Yeah. I just lock myself out so I don't do anything stupid up nice on the day. There you go. What a boring, I guess, late morning here. VIX is pulling back a touch to 18, still elevated, but pulling back from 1878 down to 18. Cannot get over the SR flip. You're welcome, Mojo. Appreciate your input this morning on the ticks. Good stuff. Hope everything's going good with the wife. I know it's not easy with the government shutdown. So with YouTube videos, the one thing I notice, you have to be out there constantly. So once a week, yeah, you do. Absolutely. It's 100% correct. I mean, they treat your YouTube channel as if it's were, TV, cable. So you got to be, if Friends posted a video every week and all of a sudden they stopped posting a video every week back in the 90s, they never would have caught on, Nice little rejection. They cannot close this support resistance flip yet. Right here, you see it? Can't do it. Right here. Let's see. Housing market is frozen. 28 out of every 1,000 homes has changed hands. It's the least in 30 years. No way. I don't believe that. All right, no way. Little red candle rejecting the SR flip. Can't do it. Man, that's an engulfing red candle right there, homie. It's an engulfing red candle. Interesting. Engulfing red. After that rejection. They have a little liquidity down to 50 here. We'll see if they take out that 50 mark. But that's a nice little rejection off the SR flip. Couldn't hold it. And now they're up here at, back to 60 or so. $21.26 negative CVD. How long do I plan on staying on? Another 2 minutes. I'll chill out. Somewhere Christian Bale disagrees. Yeah. Yeah. Spam. I'll get it. Delete. We need to change the permissions, obviously. Permissions. Create threads. New. There we go. Why is Netflix getting nuked? I don't know. I'll have to take a look. Still coming off here, 060. 3C bounce forming, bottom wick similar volume, not closing higher. I don't know, man. I would, if you're going to look for a true volume bounce, and of course I didn't long this because I didn't see the volume I didn't want to see. Right here, that was a beautiful bounce move, but I didn't long it because I want a very crystal clear, holy crap, this is a 3C moment to long a big sell-off like this. So if I'm going to play long this market today, I need to see something convincing, and I don't see anything convincing. That's the way I'm going to treat this. I would rather be very late to a bounce move than get early and get wrecked. Can't hold the flip. Exactly. What are your thoughts on Meta 3 months out? I mean, it's getting wrecked right now. NASDAQ 26045. ES is about to sell off here too. NASDAQ is a touch lower than ES respectively. The better the 3Cs are, the more anticipation. 100%, man. I love it. The beautiful thing about the 3Cs is that right there, is that once you understand that a high value 3C will pay you huge returns, you start to become very patient and you get excited about doing nothing. You get excited about doing nothing. I have a really hard time flipping back and forth, and generally I only play one direction, especially if I already have a winning trade under my belt. No, I completely agree with you. Completely. Usually, Toyota's U.S. sales in October rose by 11%. Toyota is the best. What can I say? Put me on. What are you talking about? What about? What'd you hear? Talked about a lot of stuff. Car repo is highest since 2008. $630 million calls sold, 317 million puts. All right, there is 10:30, 11:30 Eastern. What are they going to do with this? They volume spiked on that candle at 0.85. Keeps coming back to the resistance flip. Yeah, right here. I would mark this on your chart right here. Doesn't have to be perfect, just somewhere in this ballpark to understand conceptually what's happening. This little 26,100 down to 2680, this 20-point block, is the whole pivot. It's the whole pivot. Oh, being paid for something, yeah. Definitely. Oh, man. Still doing it. All right, y'all. I'm going to call that a morning so far. Pretty dang good morning. Beautiful downtrend here that's not recovering yet. I don't know if it will or not. We're up to 413 million calls sold down from 2.2, and they're still buying. I'm seeing a little bit more bullish flow hit the options here at the moment. Not to say that's going to cause a full V recovery, but in my opinion, I would not do any longing until we reclaim this 26,100 or so. This little red block right here. Gold had a beautiful 3C short that we indicated this morning, right here. Finally broke the low of 40.036. And you know how I know that was the proper target? Because the second we broke below it is when we had price action extension. So we went from 368 all the way down to 4016.6, and then now still down. So the volume came in right here. That's beautiful. And to me, that was the cleanest trade of the day so far. NASDAQ has been downtrending. They were unable to capture the prior high of 158, 160, and then we're still downtrending, and now we're looking for the close of the flip in order to get long. If that, you still have to remain short biased here. VIX is 18 and holding. They rejected 1881. Still a green VIX. We went from a down VIX to a green VIX, as this is now the 6th green VIX day in a row, I think. 5th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This will be the 6th if they close it green. So the VIX is still basing. An 18 VIX is very high. Don't get confused. Just because the VIX is kind of down a little bit doesn't mean that we still don't have a high VIX. An 18 VIX is still very high. So if you have any questions about anything, hit me up. You can shoot me a DM, email, whichever. Post it in the channel. Otherwise, I'll see y'all bright and early tomorrow morning. I'm out. See you.